What's up, everybody? Bluegabe. Y'all check out that cooler right there. Look at that big old fish in there. I'm going to show you us catch him in just a minute. But first, I wanted to explain why we're not on the boat fishing right now. So Kelly and I woke up the other morning really early. We never do that. We got some live bait. We actually had to buy it because it's winter time and it's hard to catch. So we purchased a dozen goggle eyes. It was $100 for 12 little fish. We left out of Stewart Inlet. It was a beautiful day. It was just crazy rough and crazy windy. So I actually didn't do anything other than film B-roll while we were out there because I knew the audio would be terrible. We ended up putting on, I think, the first or second live goggle eye and immediately hooked up. So y'all watch me catch this blackfin, and then once we get him in the boat, I'm going to talk you through how to properly bleed him and then properly store him so he will last for a long time. Because most of you might not understand that when you buy fish at a fish market, that fish could have been caught up to 2 weeks earlier than you buying him. And that is pushing it, but if you take very good care of him, it will last.
That was such a subtle bite. Oh, there he goes. Now he knows.
I just realized he was hooked.
Yeah, he did. Shout out to the bait guy. There's a lot of line on that rod too.
Birds. What's the odds of getting him before a shark?
264 foot, I don't know, 50-50. If we were shallower, the odds would be against us, but we're a little deeper, so we have more of a chance. Did you just see the rod bend, or? Oh, okay, because I didn't hear the drag go off or anything.
My arm's out of shape.
You weren't ready. Where's the gap? Good job multitasking. It's funny how the camera doesn't do justice to how actually bumpy it is out here.
Pinwheeling.
Ah, tuna. Now, is it a blackfin or a bonita? Ooh. Oh, that was a good picture with that rod bend. Uh-oh. Now he really knows he's hooked. Oh, come on. What pound leader you got?
40. Right there.
Oh, there's color. my gosh, that's a good one. Look at that one. Good job. Oh my god, that is a nice one.
It's got our other line wrapped up on it.
Oh, I see. Dang, what a pretty fish. Ooh. Maybe he was going for both baits.
Yeah. Didn't even get him in the corner of the mouth.
Swallow it.
Swallow.
That's a good thing he didn't chafe you off. There you go.
Look at that. So yeah, that was a fun fight in such rough seas. Now, if you're wondering why I'm in the house, it's because Florida just had our first cold front of the year and it's too cold to go outside. Real quick, before we dive into this, I want to talk a little bit about Danco. I just got one of their brand new 3-piece knife kits, and the reason being is they also have the same matching pair of pliers and a very awesome new product I want to show you guys about. We got tongs. It comes with a 7-inch Pro Series, which is the one I use in all my videos, and a new spatula. The best part about all this is you can get this entire package for less than $100, and you can't beat that. So let's talk about bleeding them. As soon as I caught this fish and put it in a boat, I put him in the bait well, turned my bait well on, and I held his mouth open with the bait well pump running into his mouth. I poked him in his gills and he started bleeding. That allowed him to stay alive and get as much blood out as possible. Now I'm gonna make something in this video that every time Kelly and I see it on a menu at any restaurant, we order it. Tuna tostadas with fresh blackfin tuna. I'm gonna start right here. Come in here close. You see this little line? This is pretty much the lateral line right down the middle. You have the upper loin and the bottom loin. So I'm gonna start right here. Just like so. Now I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna come angled in all the way up to its head, just like so. Just like that. Now right here, when I go to cut down his backbone, right in this area is a very hard bone right next to this fin. I don't know if I'll be able to get it out right now because he's so cold. You see that fin? There you go. Now if you're wondering why I don't have my glove on, I don't need it. I'm gonna be very careful. If you've ever cleaned a tuna, you know how hard that little section is. Now I'm gonna come towards his tail to about right here. There's really no usable meat past this point unless you're gonna make a soup. You hear that noise? Come in close. That's a section of pin bones that runs the whole length of his body. Hear that? Now I can hold it open and show you in here. See that big bloodline? That's why you separate the loins. If you have a good knife, it'll just pop right loose. Just like so. Now I actually left the guts in this fish when I stored it. One being, I didn't think I was gonna store it for that long. Two, I just didn't feel like doing it that day. But if you properly store it in ice in a good cooler and leave the plug open, your fish will be perfect. So I'm gonna put this back in and we're only gonna deal with this right here. Watch how I push the fish back in here. I keep his body, his back up and his guts down. That keeps anything I want off the meat and down, and it can drain out the cooler. I have it closed right now because we're inside obviously, but for the last 4 days I've had that plug open and the fish covered in ice. See how I kept it on the paper towels? Because I knew there'd be a teeny bit of blood, but not much. Clean my knife. These knives are crazy sharp and the point on them is insanely sharp. Now when you're removing the bloodline, you'll have to do it in a couple different sections because you can't get it all at once.
Yeah, you can see it good right there.
Yeah. So right here, I just sort of fish it out. I'll angle my knife just a little bit and I'll start like scooping it like ice cream. And it's all by sight because you don't know how deep it is. Even though we bled this fish out really well, there'll still be blood in the meat. Then, like most of my videos, I'll take this right here and feed the fish with it, so it's definitely not going to waste. I know a lot of people eat this, we don't though. When you're gonna make tuna tostadas or anything with raw fish, you have to keep your area very clean because you don't want any of that bad bacteria. Just got a little bit more, just like so. Come to about right here. Now there's so many things you can do with this chunk of tuna. You can obviously cook it a million different ways. I'm just showing you the way we're making it today. Quick as I can, I'm gonna put this chunk back on ice. And when we're done with this video, I'm gonna divvy it up and give it to some friends. Now you notice at the beginning I had paper towels down. I don't have any bad stuff on this cutting board. I'm keeping it really clean. Clean my knife. I'm just gonna cut it in about 1-inch cubes. If you don't have a sharp knife, this will just mush. I said 1-inch cubes, it's gonna turn into about 1/4-inch cubes though. Now any of these chunks that don't look very good, that have the little end pieces on it, I'm not throwing it away. I'm just not putting it in this dish. I want it to all be perfect. Look how good that looks. This right here, if you catch a blackfin or a yellowfin or a bluefin and want to impress some people with an appetizer, this is what I suggest. Look at that. All right, so now that I have it all cut up, I'm gonna take some of these organic flour tortillas, but you can use any brand. And I'm gonna cut them up into pie pieces. Doesn't really matter if they're perfectly even. And I like to cut the points off of them, just so they're easier to put in your mouth. Bring them over here, put them in some grease. If you use the normal flour tortillas from any grocery store, the non-organic ones, they're a lot sweeter, which just means these organic ones have less sugar. Put them in here just like so. Now in this bowl right here, I have about a 1/2 tablespoon of wasabi, a cup of soy sauce, about 2 tablespoons of honey, about a tablespoon of sesame seeds, and I've just been letting it sit there. So I'm gonna put my tuna in this bowl right here. That tuna smells and looks so good. If you're ever eating fish and it smells like fish, that's no bueno. I'm gonna just pour this sauce in. You don't really need to let it marinate long. And you can make this mixture out of anything that you think will taste good. This is just what I did. Honey, wasabi, and soy. No salt, because the soy's got plenty of it. No garlic, just plain and simple. Watch your tortillas, because you don't want them to burn. I need to break out my new Danko tongs. I literally just got it about 10 minutes ago and haven't even taken it out of the box yet. The tortillas literally only take about a minute. Put a paper towel in there to collect the grease. Frying tortillas like this is good for fish dip, cheese dip. Like, you can do endless amounts of things with these. Look how good that is though. They get really flaky and crunchy. Seaweed salad. You can get it from most grocery stores, but you better check before you make this meal if you can. Now when you fry these, they get some big air bubbles in them. Some of them, just pop it. It's no big deal. We're going to take a little bit of this seaweed, put it right on top. It's actually easier to place it on there with chopsticks.
So fancy.
So fancy. Trust me when I say what you're looking at might be the best tasting thing there ever has been on this planet. Look at that. It's actually nothing fancy. You can make another type of sauce to put on top of there. You don't need it though. Look at that. Mm.
They ain't going in for the full bite.
How about that hair though?
The hair means business.
Let's see if she can do this without spilling it all over herself. Like I said, there's absolutely no way possible.
It's so good.
So fresh.
My favorite things, tortillas, fish, and seaweed. You can't not make a mess. The best foods are messy, let me tell you. It's so good. Yeah, it doesn't need sauce on top because of that marinade. So good.
Hit that big bite right there. They're all waiting for it.
They're all waiting. I really like these too. I just bought them at Sprouts. They're good.
Now I understand that this is just a simple, short cooking video. Even though the only thing we cooked is the tortillas. This fish is raw. I wanted to show you a lot more of that day and I had a complete plan in my brain, but once we got out there and the seas started kicking up like they did, I'm like, just film B-roll. We'll knock it out in the kitchen. And one more thing that you can expect from us really soon. We're not going to Venice because it's way too rough there. The weather shot out for like the next 7 days. Kelly and I and the boys just got home from Immokalee, Florida, filming one of the funnest hunting videos ever. Jake kills his first animal with a crossbow. Luke, our 6-year-old, smokes a hog, his first animal ever, period. Lowell Roberts, if you watch my big viral hog video, the one on the swamp buggy, he catches a huge hog with his bare hands. We catch some huge ones with the dogs. We've got so much coming. It's February. Tomorrow's February. Today's January 31st. Tomorrow's February 1st. Right? Correct? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You guys, we have so many awesome videos to come. Right now, we're ending it. We just showed y'all how to make an amazing appetizer. You do not have to catch this fish to make this. You can go to the store and buy 1 pound, just one tuna steak, and make this same amazing meal. Get some tortillas. I think the hardest thing will be to find is the seaweed. Mm-hmm. If you have a Sprouts near you or a Whole Foods market or any sushi restaurants, you can get the seaweed and you can make this and show your friends you're an amazing cook as well. Oh my God. That is so good. It's insane. This is like a $15 appetizer for like 3 of these on a plate. Mm-hmm. And if you went, you can probably get the 1 pound of tuna for under $20. Probably $2 for the seaweed. $4 for the tortillas. You can make enough for 20 people for I think under 30. So it's a win-win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. But like Jake always says, it's time to get up out of here and get the heck out of shape.